half is now going to be very important. Huddersfield came out and warmed up. They've had ball in hand. They've gone through a few wave drills. They've practiced. Hull Kingston Rovers left it late, came out. They're a little bit cold, and they're going to receive the ball off the first kick from Danny Brough.
Indeed they are, and underneath it is Scott Morrell. He pouches it safely and securely. Lovegrove will run it back for Hull KR. Well, now then, it's 12-6 Huddersfield. We've got 40 minutes still to play, but the biggest question mark hangs over the floodlight pylon on this near side of the ground in the left-hand corner. Keep your fingers crossed, everybody.
Well, you've seen, I think, there in the start that Hull Kingston Rovers still want to play. They know they have to shift. They can't just go down the middle of the field. They want to go forward and then kick with more sense, really. Be better place for the kickers. Have a little bit more planning in that play.
And kicked early, Phil, I think on the fourth. Worked to a side, which meant that one of the wingers had to stay up, only 2 men back.
Go! Liam, quick!
It's Huddersfield in possession. We've had a minute of the second half. And that's Dale Ferguson underneath all of that.
Put his arm over.
Now, Cudjoe. Good tackling by Wellen and Morrell. Just inside the Huddersfield half. Raleigh will get them over the halfway line on tackle number 4. Down he goes. Robinson waits at dummy half. The runner is O'Donnell. Solid run from him, but good tackling from Ben Fisher low down. Robinson. That's Brough. This is Brown. Short ball, big hole here for Lee Gilmore. He's got support. They're in. They're in on that far side with Michael Lawrence. It's a perfect start for Huddersfield. And they will be hoping now that the lights stay on until the end of this match. The ease with which Huddersfield split Rovers' defence then, alarming really for Justin Morgan and his players. But Michael Lawrence over for his 20th try of his career.
You know what, they shifted the ball here so well. In the first half they looked similar. The quality they had, they just didn't quite get over enough of the tries. But when they do move the ball, they do seem to have so many different ways to hurt their opponents. Kevin Brown delaying the pass, and that invitation to get inside the centre, Craig Hall rather, laid the gap really there. Once Gilmore made the break, they weren't going to stop the Huddersfield Giants.
Incredible run that Michael Lawrence has. His 70th Huddersfield appearance this, his 20th try. Previously of the 19-5 came against Hull Kingston Rovers. That's now 6 against Hull Kingston Rovers. Brough has added the extras, and Huddersfield lead by 18 points to 6.
I thought Phil picked it perfectly then. That delayed pass from Kevin Brown was absolutely first class. They did have numbers, there were gaps on the edge, but he didn't pass early, he didn't show his hand, it didn't allow Hull Kingston Rovers to slide across and put bodies in the way. He just delayed it, worked to an inside shoulder and put the centre clear.
Great start to the second half for Huddersfield. They were the keener of the two clubs to come out and contest this second half with the lights problem we have, and maybe you've just seen the reason why.
Well, we've also just seen the managing director, Richard Thewlis, walk down in front of Nathan Brown. Maybe he's going to go and stand near that floodlight, Eddie. He doesn't want to make sure that anybody from Hull KR is able to switch it off.
You're not suggesting skullduggery, I'm sure, Philip. By the way, if you're waiting to hear Steve-O's dulcet tones, we've got a problem on the gantry now. He's blown the fuse on his microphone, so there you are. 16-10, Salford lead in France. This is Robinson, short ball to Cudjoe, a bit tight to the touchline. He's hauled down by Wellen. Last tackle though here for the Giants. It's with Brown, back it goes to Brough. A little dab over the top from Brough for Hodgson to pick up, and he does. Stacks of support here, Lawrence puts the ball down.
It was a terrible pass, an absolutely terrible pass there from David Hodgson. The skill of the passing first between Brown and Brough, then the kick. Hodgson did well to take the pass in, but it's behind him and high to the left-hand side. Very difficult take, and one that eventually has let Hull Kingston Rovers off here. At 12 points, they're still in this game. Had Huddersfield scored from there, and there were a few Rovers defenders back, but Huddersfield would have this game in the bag.
You're right, Phil. The pass was awful. It was above head height. Are you back?
I'm back, Eddie.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank goodness.
I haven't been looking for an electrician, I can assure you of that, but that was really a beautiful sucker punch, wasn't it, by the Huddersfield side. It was always going to be a problem.
Look out, here come Rovers on the charge now themselves.
And that problem was when you waste a lot of time in the dressing rooms, one side, mentally, they get switched on. And I'm afraid the Rovers, oh, that's a good take.
Oh, great
he's
take.
offloaded.
He has straight into McGilvery's arms. That's the second time Rovers have done that. First half, it was straight to Robinson. Second half here, straight to McGilvery.
Frustration on Justin Morgan's face there. The great take by Wellham, the centre.
Rally, that's good hitting, though, by the defenders. Taylor was leading the way, helped out by Fisher.
Real calculated gamble then from Leroy Cudjoe to let that ball come down without a genuine challenge. I thought he was trying to tackle Wellham as he caught the ball. If that was his intention, he got it completely wrong.
Last tackle here it is for Huddersfield, and Brough with the kick downfield right up the middle, but well watched by Peter Fox. And Fox will come back at them. Brown leading the chasers for the Giants. Finished off by Robinson. Briscoe. And the ball to Webster.
With a lead at 18 points to 6, and they've got the quality of Danny Brough out there in the kicking department, and that's what they have to do now. Just keep turning the Rovers around and around, and the defence will do the rest, and it's been pretty solid throughout.
Good tackling by Robinson and Gilmore on Taylor. Morrell, Gillier, and here's Wellham. Poses a threat, does Chris Wellham, all the time. He was second only to Peter Fox in 2009. He got 14 tries last year as well, did Chris Wellham. That's a high-hanging kick, but it's a bit too far, is it?
Oh,
so
golden
close.
opportunity there. I don't think there's a knock on there from Craig Hall. Yeah, there was. He got a fingertip to it, and that'll be a tap on the 20.
It was a strange attempt to catch it with the right hand. You'd think he'd probably attempt to put two hands under the ball.
There's not a man alive can jump forward and catch a ball with one hand. You know, you've got to get two hands to it and make a genuine attempt. And I honestly thought that if he had scored, would have gone to the screen and had a look, because I thought about 5 of them were offside anyway.
Well, David Hodgson has just had a couple of nightmare minutes. First of all, he was waiting for that ball to come out of the sky, and he's just dropped it here on the second tackle.
Loose carry. And there's a big problem as well for the Rovers centre, Chris Wellham. He's not 100%.
It's a shame because he poses quite a threat. Here comes Morrell, gives it to Lovegrove. He took it straight into the chest of Larn Patrick, and it was Dale Ferguson there to help out. Fisher, short ball. That's good defence from Brown. Galea was scoring the try then. Crabtree was in for good measure also. Fisher trying to pinch one, and Fisher does! Great work from Ben Fisher.
He's going to go upstairs. He thinks there's a little bit of a wobble. And I think you might see a little bit of a wobble. But as he picked it up, Fisher's gone from dummy half, but I think it just rolled around.
He's asked for a knock-on at the play the ball.
That's what I'm saying. I think he just fumbles it slightly. Ganson's seen something. I thought there might have been a fumble. Let's have a look.
It's this here.
No.
Does the ball go forward off the foot though, Eddie? Would that be penalised for an incorrect play of the ball?
Well,
it could be.
I've seen that happen this year a number of times.
It did come backwards before it went forwards.
That's a great try. I give it. Great work from Fisher. Second effort. Spun his body around and gets the ball down. Yeah, that has gone forward.
Now, actually, though, the video referee can't judge on that. He can only judge after the play of the ball's completed.
Yes, after the ball's into play.
Even if there was an error in the play of the ball, he can't make a judgment on it, which is a crazy rule.
The try's going to be given here, and it is to Rovers. Yes, the video referee cannot make any decision about that until the ball is back in play, Phil. You're spot on. Ben Fisher's first try of the season, and Hulkingston Rovers are back in the hunt. It was an excellent effort, though, from Fisher. Absolutely excellent. He picked the ball up. It looked like he'd been stopped. Somehow, he squirmed around and plonked the ball over the line. Good effort.
Good upper body strength as well. He had the numbers there. Nathan Brown will be furious at the fact that they've allowed him to get through. And let's not forget, just a few moments before, the Giants could have absolutely wrapped up this game when they bombed a try out on the left-hand side. Full credit to this man, he never gives in. Don't know a hooker that does.
But Phil, the other point, you're right. That ball was played with the foot, which was unusual. It rolled forward, which is a penalty anywhere else other than there, because the video referee hasn't seen it. Well, or it doesn't get called in to judge it.
Hull KR aren't playing well. They're not kicking well at goal, but they're riding the luck. The first try was a little bit fluky. Not take anything away from the chase on the kick, but that one again was a relatively soft try for Huddersfield to concede. But they're riding themselves into this game here. Fisher just, well, he knows there's nothing else he can do. He can't pass the ball because he doesn't have time. Spins and twists in the tackle. Kevin Brown and is it Leroy Dale Ferguson on this side get themselves into an awful position. Their body position is a disaster.
Well, they've dodged a few bullets. That's that big play from the Huddersfield Giants about 3 or 4 sets ago where they blew that pass clear down the left wing. Awful ball inside, and Hull KR breathe a great sigh of relief. They've gone the other end of the field. Really fortunate, because that really shouldn't be allowed. You know, goodness me, what happens if you just knock it onto the play of the ball? Do we just pretend it didn't happen?
Well, there are always things that perhaps they can look at the Rugby Football League into. And
he's going to look at this as well, the referee. The referee has just asked Thierry Alibert to have a look at this challenge on Fisher. Late challenge.
Make sure you've got the right player. I've got Luke Donald, I think, on a passer.
Oh, that's a bad one.
Yeah.
That is a bad one from Luke O'Donnell.
Well, fortunately,
it's not into the face.
It's not in the face.
Not into the face, but it's still a bad one. Taking someone out.
Mate, it's just late, mate. The ball had gone yet too late. It's a penalty.
If he'd have kicked that, Ben Fisher, he would have been in the sin bin there, Luke O'Donnell, wouldn't he? Late charge on a kicker is an automatic sin bin.
Yep. And it's surprised that the official, even on the pass or without the ball,
then why not a late charge on a passer?
I think you're right there, Paul, and as I say, there are a few things that perhaps the Rugby Football League have to look at. My mind goes back to the forward pass, remember last week?
At about exactly the same time of the match last week for Zach Hardaker that we've just seen that try given to Ben Fisher. Funny old game. Briscoe.
And now, 10 minutes in, Willie Mason back on the field. That could be really smart work from coach Justin Morgan. I've noticed all game, Steve Ganson is taking a real big, long 10 metres. You know, to use the old Fred Lindop adage, I wouldn't like him to fit me a carpet. He's going back 12 and 13.
You can only go back 8 here because they're inside the 10. And here is a chance because they have the man out wide. It's Fox. That's a great tackle by Hodgson.
Oh, superb. Ball and all, wrap it up, baby.
Crossfield
this
kick.
is a good kick.
Webster's underneath it. Webster claims it. Dumps the ball back. Scrambling defence from Huddersfield. It's picked up by Cudjoe.
How on earth did Brown offload there from the ground to Leroy Cudjoe under a lot of pressure? Now this is where composure has to come in by the Robins. They've got to make sure they give themselves. That was a great take, but once Brown got it off and then spins around and offloads it. Outstanding stuff from both sides.
Well, he's starting to warm up. In this second half, Robinson.
Again, just look at Steve Ganson stood on the 40-metre, and the play the ball is 2 metres inside the 30. That's a 12-metre play the ball.
Well, the Giants were so successful in the first 40 of commanding and getting over that advantage line, but they're struggling now.
The second one was about 13 metres. That's the time to get Willie Mason on. Great play from Justin Morgan. If he's read that, it allows Big Willie to have a good run-up.
Important tackle from Brough on Peter Fox.
Took a big gamble as well, did Danny Brough, because he had a second go at him. Wanted to hold him down, make sure his defence got back. Surely he's got a shout held.
He has done.
That's good refereeing.
Well, the referee saw that Webster had trapped the arm of the defender Ferguson. Oh, a loose carry, knock on. Huddersfield will get the ball back here.
Huddersfield ball, loose carry.
Well, Lovegrove just gets it dislodged, or did Mason get a fingertip to it? probably did either way. It was covered. The official didn't see it.
You could almost feel all of the Hull Kings Rovers supporters on that far side of the green just deflate there then when that happened, because, you know, the side, they felt they had some energy, there was some buzz, the players were hitting hard when they had possession. It's just turned over here now to the Giants.
It's with Cudjoe, and Webster offered him the inside channel, which he took, and so Webster pulls him down. Grix and McGilvray. Solid defence from Ben Galea.
It's important now that Huddersfield just calm down, make sure that they get themselves into a good position, keep them down there. They've got the kicking game. Utilise it.
Brown to Brough, gets the pass away. Gilmore, and Gilmore, he gets away from Briscoe, but there is the shape of Craig Hall there to wrestle him to the deck with Willie Mason. There's Robinson. Brown steps inside Galea, steps inside another. Out it goes wide. Here is Michael Lawrence. Good defence, scrambling defence from Rovers. Can they hold out for this last tackle? Brough with the kick to the in-goal area. And Briscoe grounds it. It's a goal line dropout. They're going to get a set of 6 again.
Beautiful kick by Danny Brough. Outside of the boot, aiming for the post, and it ricochets away. Very alert, Sean Briscoe. It had to be as well. Gilmore is having a fine second half. Beautiful tackle, it had to be. Got him down there, did Briscoe. Only by one leg, but it was sufficient.
Okay, come on, Scott.
15th season in Super League for Lee Gilmore, 33 years of age. 4 or 5 years ago, he would have been skipping past Sean Briscoe then and scoring the try. Well, here's a chance now for Huddersfield on this repeat set with Hodgson.
And we've seen a definite reaction from the Huddersfield Giants, and certainly in Kevin Brown. We've seen far more of him in the opening 10 to 15 minutes of the second half than we did in the entire first 40. Very, very talented player, has great vision and a great passing game. Look at his
he's
run.
through the gap. He's trying to step around Briscoe, but Briscoe again.
Quick play the ball, and he's got them for offside.
There's an advantage.
Now then, will they take the 2? It's important. No, they're going to go for broke.
With O'Donnell. Well, they've had 2 close shaves.
Gilmore is screaming for the ball out wide on that left-hand side.
It's going that way with Brown and Brough and Gilmore. It bounced off his chest. Too fast, too powerful the pass.
Yeah, it came off twice before, and if you take it flat like that, you normally get through, but he just could not avoid the attention from Craig Hall. Beautiful step from Brown. Got great quality, dancing feet. I'm not so sure, Paul, maybe I would have gone for the 2.
Well, they thought they had the momentum. They were looking to try and make that score. I thought the Giants then, they reverted to split half-backs. Obviously, Kevin Brown, I think, is a far better standoff as the second receiver. A little bit more time and room. Danny Brough at scrum half, but they went from Brown to Brough instead of from Brough to Brown. And Brough just couldn't put the ball in his hands in that try-scoring position.
Interesting last week, Nathan Brown saying before the game against Wigan, he hoped that Kevin Brown would come up with a performance that would just nudge him back into England contention again. Not in the England squad for the Four Nations this year. He started last year's Four Nations as Steve McNamara's first choice standoff.
Yeah, a bit disappointing that he was left out. He's a talent. Not about that.
Well, this is a great chance for him, Mike, to put the marker down. It's a difficult game. It's scruffy at best, and that's where your better players come to the fore. You know, I'm really looking forward to seeing Kevin Brown, for his point of view and for the Giants, in this match, step up and come up with that international quality play.
You talk about someone stepping up to the plate. This guy has the winger, Jermaine McGilvray. He really has done some work, dragging the ball back, taking a lot of pressure off his forwards.
For me, Mike, he's been the best player on the field so far. His kick returns are excellent. He very, very rarely gets done on play one and always causes problems.
That's Crabtree to his feet to play it to Robinson. Now Fayumu, who's back out there. Began David Fayumu, the New Zealand and Samoan international, as the hooker tonight. That role has now been taken over by Robinson. Brough drifts the kick through, and Gilmore hacks it forward. Brough's after it, and Brough gets it, but I think the referee will have to hand this upstairs. No, he doesn't. He gives the try to Danny Brough.
He's spot on, is Steve Ganson.
Second try for Danny Brough. Second try for him. And it was, well, it was soccer skills, wasn't it? The ball hit the deck, Gilmour hacked it forward, and Brough won the race. And Danny Brough has dropped on the ball and has given Huddersfield a very important score here. It just stretches the lead.
He started it, kicked through, got the ricochet. Lee Gilmour kicks through again, goes all over the joint, comes off the leg. That is a good decision by Steve Ganson. I know he had the option to go upstairs to Thierry Alibert, the French referee, but he knew it was spot on, Ganson, and that is a great try. Second of the night. Now then, you shouldn't want to be rushing this. They know they want to get to the 60-minute mark.
And give the board a problem. The Rugby League board, that is a problem, if the lights go out again. Let's hope they don't. Let's hope the lights don't go out, because it would spoil it completely.
It certainly would, because it's been a fine effort by Huddersfield in the second half.
Oh, he's missed the conversion attempt as Danny Brough, but it's 22 points to 10 to the Giants. Now, can the Giants kick on here? Can Hulkingston Rovers come back?
Beautiful kick this. Okay, it got the ricochet. You've got to have a little bit of luck sometimes in sport. But the little kick on by Lee Gilmour. Gilmour's having a fine second half, certainly has, and a little bit quiet at times in the first 40. But I think both sides were a little bit tentative. But the Giants, they come out the shell.
Let's give Steve Ganson some credit for that decision, by the way, because he could easily have just given it upstairs to Thierry Alibert, but he took the decision himself, obviously with a call from the sideline from his touch judge. Many times those balls that ricocheted all over the shop have been handed upstairs and they found something wrong. Ganson saw nothing wrong in that.
Well, positional play, that's what it's all about.
And the bounce rolled and bounced and moved away. We spoke pre-game about that extended in goal, or it appears to be an extended in goal here at Hulkingston Rovers. I don't quite know whether it's been put back a metre or so, but if it has done, it certainly worked in the favour of the Huddersfield Giants.
Move!
Last tackle here for Huddersfield, still deep inside their own half. Brough just pumps it down the field. Peter Fox waits for it. It's a great chase.
It's
a great win for Salford City Reds. Back-to-back wins for them, and a difficult place to go, Catalan, and win. And Salford have done it, 22-10 on a roll, the Reds.
That's a fantastic win, isn't it? And in the south of France. Now then, what have the Rovers got left in the tank? They got to test their arm, but over the 60-minute mark, so they've got the penalty.
Well, just trying to halt the momentum a little bit too long, all over the back of Reece Lovegrove.
Hang on, pal.
Now, if those lights go out, Eddie...
And now that he just asked Reece Lovegrove then if he wanted to make a complaint about something. And he said, no, you're all right, no thank you. So, what was going on in there, but Lovegrove was obviously complaining about something, but doesn't want to make it official.
Good on him.
Fisher, the dummy half for Rovers. Morel gets the ball away, and it's Liam Watts. Liam Watts, 20, rated one of the best up-and-coming prop forwards in Super League. Yet another of the young guns. Morel, wide to Webster. Good defence. McGilvray again.
He's had a brilliant match, and fully deserves all the praise and the pats on the head. His positional sense has been superb.
I tell you what, he's up against no mug either in this Jake Webster.
Yeah, he's got the experience, but really has matched him. Wonderful game.
In the England Knights squad, he missed last week because he was with the Knights.
I think he might end up playing for England at the end of the year, Eddie.
The way he's playing, you're right. Here he is again.
Great example of a young player more than prepared to roll his sleeves up and do it the hard way. Spent lots of times in the Championship toughening himself up, playing in difficult places, adverse conditions, and he just looks, Phil, as if he can make that next step up, doesn't he?
Bit of a mini crisis we're watching here for Hull Kingston Rovers. They're staring down the barrels right now of their 5th defeat in the first 6 matches of the season, or in the last 6 matches of this season, the first 7 of course. It's a problem for Justin Morgan. He says they want a few more points on the board, a few more wins would be nice.
Lee Gilmore not happy with the way that the tacklers gave him a little bit of treatment. Plenty to say to the official. But he's had a fine game the second half, and so has this fella, Danny Brough. Keep the kick, look at the chase.
Well, the kick hit the ground, just gave them a second or two extra to hair off up the other end and stop Briscoe in his tracks.
If you watch the Giants chase, it is so disciplined. They go as a unit.
Webster up the middle. Mason's on his back. Ferguson's in there. Robinson's all over him as well. Fisher waits. Fires the pass then to Blake Green. Mason on the charge. Gets a response from the terraces. Briscoe again. Now it's with Galea. Wellen stabs it in behind McGilvray. He won't be fooled though, this fella. And a wise away is McGilvray, stepping through the challenges. Briscoe just did enough, and he's finished off by Liam Watts.
And he had the wherewithal to make sure that he played the ball quickly. They should have the numbers out wide on that left-hand side. What a game this guy's having.
Robinson, Brown, Brough. Hall wouldn't be fooled then. Lovegrove was in as well to bring him down. Quick play the ball though. Oh, this is interesting from Robinson. Good tackle by Blake Green. Brough. Keith Mason. Last one. Robinson and Brough. We thought about a one-pointer then. Instead of that, he stabs it in behind the defence looking for Hodgson. It just beat him.
He's a schemer, isn't he? Wonderful player, thinking all the time. Danny Brough didn't come off on that occasion, but
the bounce robbed him.
Yep.
We can quite clearly see, Mike, which team on the park tonight's playing with a scrum half and which one isn't.
Quite obvious. We keep mentioning it, I know that, but Michael Dobson is certainly being missed out there tonight.
Yes, problem, Eddie, is that in the final quarter of games this season they've really struggled. If they're going to win here, this will be special. This is uncharted territory, but they're making good ground in this set.
And that was good work from Fisher. He knew that Crabtree was inside the 10. Crabtree did his best to put it in reverse and get back, but Fisher made contact with him.
He was looking for the right gear, wasn't it? And it's called reverse, and he couldn't. He tried his damnedest. Great work from Fisher. Another fine game. He's one of being the stars on the Rovers side.
Here's Mason. That's a good tackle by Crabtree.
Oh, around the legs. Can't go without them.
14 minutes to go. Fisher gives it to Lovegrove. He pops it up. This is Morrell. Morrell will drive for the line again. They're very close. Down he goes on tackle number 3. Fisher scheming, looking left, looking right. Which way will he go? He'll go towards the post. Pops it up to Lovegrove. No way through there. Now then, will Fisher try and pinch another from dummy half? No, he'll fire the pass to Morrell. Wellen will score for Rovers. Willie. He's looking at obstruction. Is Steve Ganson. He thinks Ben Galea might have obstructed a Huddersfield defender in getting to the ball. Wellen thinks he's scored.
It's a dummy runner that he's got to look at. No, I think that Brown is trying to kid the official. I think this will be given. Watch Brown. He'll deliberately go into him. He knows he can't get through. I think he's trying to con. To me, that's an Academy Award effort, and this should be given. Watch Brown. He automatically goes into him.
He was looking at the ball, wasn't he, Kevin Brown? No?
I don't think so. I think he's gone and picked out Ben Galea.
One of the things they talk about is where does the man receive the ball. The fact that Morel has gone past Galea, if you know what I mean, closer to the sideline, is a help here for Hull KR.
Should be given.
I think he'll disallow it. I think he's gone through the line that early and made the contact. I think there's enough to knock that off.
Let's see. No, it's given. There you go, Paul. Second try for Chris Whelan. They needed that, Hull Kingston Rovers. A, to get back into this match, and B, to give them some confidence for what's to come. Their next 4 games: Saints away, Leeds at home, Wigan at home, Hull away. It's a tough ask that's coming up for Hull KR.
Certainly is, and I must say, you've got to give credit to Kevin Brown. He tried his damnedest. He knew he couldn't get it, the ball was coming out wide. He knew that he couldn't get anywhere near it. Tried to kid the official, and the official, the Frenchman, Mr. Alibert.
And just a few seconds ago, well, Scott Morel, thank you. He kicks the conversion, and Hull Kingston Rovers are back in the hunt.
And you can guarantee that Nathan Brown, the Giants coach, will be saying, if we get possession from here on in, it's drive to the sticks, boys, and give it to Danny Brough or Kevin Brown or Luke Robinson, and we'll go for the 1 point.
Webster will run it back for Rovers. Can Huddersfield hang on? Can Hull Kingston Rovers come up with a victory? They've conceded prior to tonight 29 tries so far this season, plus what Huddersfield have scored against them this evening. Only Salford, Bradford and Crusaders have conceded more. Fox does well, comes this way inside off the line. Mason looking to spin and offload. Last one here for Hull KR. This will be given some height, and it is. McGilvraith's after this. It's claimed by Wellham. It's flicked out to Webster. It was a forward pass anyway. It was the handover, says referee Steve Ganson.
Safety first now. Wellham did well to try to offload. There's nowhere there that Jake Webster could get that. It did go forward.
You know, the last time we saw these two teams fighting it out in front of our cameras last June at the Galfarm Stadium, it was Huddersfield 16, Hull Kingston Rovers 16. Brett Hodgson with a memorable penalty goal off the touchline. But here goes Robinson. Robinson has got Griggs. He also has Cudjoe. He's got Griggs. And Griggs will go in. And that's a killer blow for Rovers. Tries given by Steve Ganson. Scott Griggs with the try for Huddersfield. Nathan Brown off his feet in the stands. And Scott Griggs and Huddersfield have silenced the Hull Kingston Rovers supporters here. There was the glimmer of the hope of a fight back. And Scott Griggs has just come up, courtesy of a lovely little run from Robinson.
Beautiful play. Look at that. Wonderful dummy. And then he offloads at the very precise moment for the fullback, Scott Griggs. But this is superb. Galea couldn't get anywhere near him. Looking very, very tired indeed, Galea. Took full advantage. Maybe they were thinking like I was thinking. They'd only drive forward and then go for the 1. They wanted the 4. And surely the man that created it. What will Danny Brough do here? And he knows it's a pressure kick.
Yes, it is. He is a left-footed kicker. It's on the correct side of the field for him. But it is a pressure kick. It could possibly win the match. He's kicked it. So it's 28 points to 16 now, the Giants.
I thought great vision then from Luke Robinson, spotting only one marker, and also spotting that Scott Morel had flew out the line, tackled or attempted to tackle. What on earth? Who on earth is he trying to look at? The man with the ball is the most important man. Griggs pushing hard on the inside of Robinson. Great vision, great support, and real poor defence from Scott Morel.
Love to see Luke Robinson in full flight. That stuttering little run of his, the legs pumping away. He's one of the real characters of the game.
Certainly is. He hasn't got at the exciting speed that you see. Oh, Gilmore's well and truly away.
Briscoe again to the rescue for Rovers. Here goes Robinson. He gives it to Grix. Now it's with Brown. Cudjoe. Wellham gets to him.
I
Good
thought
work.
the kickoff, Eddie, was very strange there. With 9 minutes to go in the game, you need to score 2 tries and convert them to get a draw. To kick the ball deep there really against a side who are comfortable returning it. Strange choice for me.
Fayumu just gives it to Brough, goes wide once again to Gilmore.
5, move, hold, yeah, good mate, go.
Fayumu's waiting again. Now it's with Robinson. Robinson all along the deck.
Onside,
Webster.
Look at the numbers yet again. That's the one thing Nathan Brown will be very proud of tonight. The kick and chase has been top class. Far better than the home side, I'm afraid.
Hold, go.
That was Briscoe. Here is Lovegrove again. Met by Fayumu, Crabtree, and also Luke O'Donnell. He's got a formidable squad, hasn't he, Nathan Brown? Wonder if tonight he maybe has got more of a hint about his best 17.
Well, if he does, then he should be happy with the way that they've performed. Take nothing away from the Rovers. They did fight back and get within 6 points.
They're still fighting. Wellham's on a hat-trick. Brown gets to him, though.
And
I
dare to suggest that he needs to get and make sure that Jermaine McGilvray is included in that 17. He's been outstanding.
Oh, the bounce has beaten Scott Grix. Oh, and he recovers brilliantly.
Boy, it looked for all the world that he couldn't get anywhere near that. Just miscued it, couldn't get it out. This has been a real feature about the Giants tonight, though. The way that both wingers, Hodgson and McGilvray, have taken the ball back with so much determination. Created the springboard.
Crabtree with the drive forward.
Hold, go, well done.
Robinson and Brown, Fayumu. Robinson in at dummy half for the last tackle here.
22, you're off again.
And Brough just pumps the ball down the line, finds touch, and just eats up the clock. Huddersfield will plod to this scrum.
Superb play. Danny Brough has been outstanding as well. His control things out there. He knows the importance of just getting the ball way back. This Rovers outfit have just been turned around and around, especially in this second half, out on their right-hand side in defence. He'll be happy, Nathan Brown. It's been a fine performance.
Well, he will be happy because they're going to go second in the table tonight. They'll close the gap to 2 points on Warrington at the top.
It's always going to be very difficult for Hull Kingston Rovers here, playing against a Huddersfield team who, in a televised game last week, underperformed, had several players who were well below their best. So you knew there was a determination to prove, to lift the standards and play at a higher level. And Hull Kingston Rovers really have done well at times to be competitive because...
40-20 here, 40-20, no, it just didn't have the right angle. That's a shame for Rovers.
All back behind, lads.
Not a bad kick from Morel, but just the bounce beat him. It doesn't get any easier for Rovers, though, does it? I mentioned it before. Saints, Wigan, Leeds, and then the Good Friday derby against the neighbours.
But that's maybe when the games that they can get up for and be at the very best, can't they? That's like a challenge thrown down to them. They've got to tap that ball in the middle of the field. The referee's just saying to Luke Robinson. And there he is again, Luke O'Donnell. When you go back and analyse how often he just runs the ball and makes 10 metres, it's a significant contribution to your team if you can have players who consistently make 10 metres when they're trying to gain ground.
I agree with you, Phil, because I think the forwards have been outstanding. Crabtree, Fayumu, Mason, they've all got through. Kerman, Gilmore, O'Donnell. I mean, Gilmore out wide in that centre position, which we've seen for many, many years. And they've got a pretty solid pack as well on the bench. You know, the likes of Patrick, who's just taken the ball up there.
And Brough again dabs the ball through and invites the chase from Lawrence and Co. It was Kermond who got to Briscoe first, though.
Danny Brough is like a wasp. He just torments you, doesn't he?
Oh, the ball's popped up there. And Robinson has it.
Give me the field goal.
He's nearly drilled into the ground by Webster, is Luke Robinson. This is Brown. Grix, good hit.
Oh, Galea, come to daddy.
Stand! 1,
Ferguson.
2, move!
Plenty up the sleeve, no need to rush.
Brown hits the runner, which was Mason. Mason can't get the arms clear. He's right on the line. 3 tackles gone.
Come on, Danny.
3 in the bag. Robinson back to Brough, and Brough will run it and ducks under one challenge. Keeps going. Brough clattered to the ground in the end by Clinton, Hodgson and Briscoe. That's number 4. Robinson's there waiting. Robinson! And Robinson's over the line almost.
Held up. Well, he's going to have a look at it.
Check if he knocked on.
But I don't think he's got it anywhere near.
The referee says the ball's on the line when he got to the... And Robinson's nodding. The ball was on the line, he says, when he got to it. Was there a knock on?
Well, I think it's short there. Still hasn't touched the line. Still hasn't touched the line. I don't think that's touched the line. Oh, maybe we'll see from this angle. Very difficult. No, forget it. Uncle Albert will be stressing somewhat. Oh, this is hard to give.
4 little words spring to mind. Benefit is the first.
On that occasion, as he got downward pressure. Well, on that angle, amazing, isn't it? Different camera angle.
Is the tackle completed, though, at that point? Is that a second effort to ground the ball? I don't know when the tackle was completed, how long the referee gave him to complete his movement and attempt to ground the ball.
Of course, we're looking at it in slow motion. Well,
it's difficult for Uncle Albert.
It is. What's Thierry Alibert say? He gives the try to Robinson, right under the sticks. That puts the icing on the cake. That puts Huddersfield Giants into second place in the table. Brave effort from Robinson. He'd be delighted. They bounced back, have Huddersfield Giants, from the setback against Wigan last week.
And to be fair, throughout the game, you always felt that the Giants had full control of it. Even though that the Rovers a spirited fight back to get within 6 points at one point. But they have pulled away, courtesy of this fella's ability to keep turning the Rovers around. Good kicking game from this lad.
Brough adds the extras, and it's now 34-16. It looks a comprehensive victory now for Huddersfield Giants. There's a couple of minutes to go. The Rovers fans are on their way home. Frustration for them, and they know that it's a difficult period of the season coming up, with matches against Leeds, Saints, Wigan and Hull FC over the next month.
Well, again, they've gone for the long kick rather than the short one. I think they've...
No.
It's like they seem to have thrown the towel in.
Well, the ball was pulled out forward, so it's Huddersfield head and feed. He's lucky to escape that, David Hodgson. He's got a smile on his face.
He knows it too. Yeah, Hall's pulled it out. One-on-one, that's fine, but it's gone forward. Sigh of relief from the experienced David Hodgson.
Patrick plays the ball to Robinson. Is there time for yet another Huddersfield score? Robinson waits. Mason hits it at pace. Coach and assistant, Paul Anderson, Nathan Brown having a chunner on the sideline as Brown goes down under the challenge from Galea.
Hold, go.
Robinson finds Raleigh. Raleigh gets Huddersfield to halfway and no further on the last.
Go. Well done, mate.
Brough, little dab over the top. Is it too far ahead of him? No, it isn't. Brough gets it wide. This is Lawrence. Out wide they go to David Hodgson. Oh, has he blown it? No, he hasn't.
No, he scored it. No problem about that at all.
Tries given. I thought for a moment when he stuttered and fell, he'd lost the ball as well, and perhaps it hit the corner flag. Hodgson gets over for the try, his third of the season. And that now is his 150th try of David Hodgson's career.
You know, Danny Brough in this mode It's very difficult to stop. He loves the limelight. He's a star. Nice finish in the end. Beautiful stuff, this. Chip over the top, gets the bounce, just hesitates, doesn't he, Sean Briscoe? It's sufficient.
In the background, the full-time siren sounds. Yes, he did touch it down, didn't he, without problem. But a late fade-out from Hull Kingston Rovers has been the feature of their season. They have found it impossible to hold on to a lead this year. They were 22-14 up at Warrington, 12-0 against Catalan Dragons, 14-12 against Castleford, and against Crusaders they were 34-6 up. They faded in the last 15 minutes, conceding 3 tries. Here they've lost again, 38 points to 16. Huddersfield second in the table, and well, as I say, proving that they do have bounce back ability down at the Gulf Arm. McGill